You don't have to try so hard. You don't have to give it all away. You just gotta get up, get up, get up, get up. You ain't gotta change a single thing. You don't have to try. You don't have to try. You don't have to try.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Locked In channel. Where have you been? Where have I been? And where's Karl today? So this video, guys, is all about it's about a bit about how I overcame my insecurities, basically, and how I'm still overcoming my insecurities. And I guess this was a bit hard. Like, it's taken a while for me to actually film this. Like, I filmed it and then I didn't like it, then I filmed this probably like 4 times now, literally. Then the last time I filmed it, the memory card was broken, so it didn't work. And I was trying to figure out, I was like, why, Cassandra, haven't you filmed this? Last night I was laying in bed, it was late, it was like literally 2 in the morning. I was like, why haven't you filmed this? Why haven't you filmed this? And then I realized something. Insecurities. I'm just being honest. Oh, sorry guys, my phone is making noise. 1 second. Literally, like obviously since my wedding I've put on a bit of weight. Oh, my phone just gonna be making noise. Since my wedding I've put on a bit of weight. I just haven't been feeling really confident. Like, if I'm honest, I haven't felt like, if you look on my Instagram, I haven't even really posted it recently because I just haven't felt myself. And like, until you kind of pinpoint, like, until you kind of realize something, it's like you make excuses for the way you're feeling. So I was like, you know, I'm working hard, I just finished work, I've started like doing my own thing, working for myself, being my own boss. That's probably why. But then when I really analysed it yesterday, I was like, no. Like, you've been feeling really insecure. Like, you haven't been feeling yourself, and you haven't been acting yourself in terms of like dressing up, taking pictures. That's the sort of stuff I love to do. Like, if I'm honest, I love to dress up, I love to take pictures. Yeah, that's the sort of things I love to do, to be honest. I love to dress up, I love to take pictures. And I haven't really been doing that. And even this morning, before I recorded the video, I was like, I don't even have lashes. I'm just gonna look silly and small-eyed in the video. And yeah, I was just criticizing myself. And then I looked up the word insecurity, and it's just basically like being not confident in yourself, self-doubting, and not feeling good enough, not feeling valuable. And I was like, well, those are the few things I've been feeling lately. So anyway, let's go into the video. So I was thinking to myself, when did I actually even start having insecurity? Because my insecurities have been very severe throughout the years, and I'd say probably when I started going to church, those insecurities really died down. I don't think you ever, you know, like, we all have insecurities, we all have things that maybe we don't love about ourselves, or not even love about ourselves, we don't like about ourselves, but we learn to love. Does that make sense? Yeah, we all have. It's not like, I realized that even the people that I deemed as perfect still had their own insecurities. And I think that kind of put me at ease at a time to know that everyone has something that they don't maybe like, but you have to learn to love yourself. And I think I learned that from going to church. But I was trying to pinpoint when those insecurities actually came, and I was talking to a lady about it the other day actually, but I was like, maybe I think when I was in school, like, honestly, I believe it was when I was in school and primary school. And you know, there's an age in primary school where you actually don't know what you look like. I don't even know if I can explain it. Like, I was literally looking at like one of my godchildren the other day, and I remembered when she didn't even really know what colour she was. Like, she'd say like all different colours of the rainbow that she was. So I was like, there was a time where you didn't really know what you looked like. You didn't have those kind of like, you just didn't know about that. And I remember that stage, and I remember when it shifted and I started being so much more critical of myself. And I think it was because maybe like I got chickenpox. I remember that. I don't know if you can see that like indentation. That's a chickenpox mark. And I was going back to school. I got chickenpox, I was going back to school, and I literally picked off the chickenpox mark because I didn't want anyone to know that I had like scars on my face. And I was going back to school, and obviously there was a boy in school that I fancied, and I picked it off, and he still noticed it and was like, what is that big scar on your face? And I kind of like that really, like I used to literally cover it with plaits. I used to try and wear like bindis there, anything I could do to cover it, because I felt like that was my ugly. And that's how, the only way I can put it as that was my ugly. And that's how I felt like, because I had that now, I'm ugly. And I remember like there being girls in school who all the boys would kind of say were pretty, because like, you know, it was like, oh, Cassandra's fun, Cassandra's down to earth, Cassandra's like, you know, she always like wants to play around. Yeah, we love Cassandra. But it was like, that girl's pretty, she's got pretty eyes because they're green, or she's got pretty hair because it's long and it's not like curly and short like mine was, or like, you know, that kind of thing. So I think from there I started to develop my own insecurities. But obviously it really, Karl was like stomping upstairs, but yeah, obviously it really progressed as I went into secondary school, and there was more of that, and there was more pressure. And I went to a girls' school, and you know when you go to the bus stop and there'd be boys there, and like they'd like the girls who were lighter skinned and curlier haired, and I wasn't that. And I always used to think there was one type of beautiful. I don't know if you lot can relate to that, that there was, it's like I didn't think that there was different scopes of beauty. I was like, well, that's what beautiful is, and if you're not that, then you're not beautiful. And I wasn't that, so I wasn't beautiful. And like it really did, like it was so serious, and I could talk about it, but I couldn't really talk about it because my friends basically wouldn't understand, because they'd be like, Cassandra, you're pretty, like what's your issue, like people like you. And it wasn't that. It's like I had, like I said, I use this terminology, I'm like, throughout life people will say negative things about you. They may say something about you, like I'll give you an example. They'll say, oh Cassandra, your eyes are really small, they're really like chinky or whatever. And I didn't like that at the time. I thought big Bambi brown eyes was beautiful, and I didn't have that. So as soon as someone would say that, I'd like put on that jacket, like zip it up and be like, that's me. Like I'd literally put on that insecurity, I'd put on that ugly, and I'd be like, yeah, see, that's why I'm not beautiful. And then someone might be like, oh Cassandra, but you've got such nice teeth. And then I'd be like, oh, you got a nice smile. And I'd be like, oh, but I wouldn't put that one on. I'd be like, oh yeah, that's nice. But they're just saying that because they're my friend. They're just saying that because they're my mom. They're just saying that because they have to. And then someone else would say something else, like, Cassandra, you're so tall. And then I'd hunch over and I'd put on a new jacket, and I'd be like, okay, I can never wear any shoes that make me look any taller. Like I'd always want to wear the flat shoes. I'd always kind of like hunch my back. Like even now I still like have to remind myself, sit up straight, Cassandra. People would say I had really big breasts. I didn't like that, so I'd always want to hunch over, and I'd put on that jacket. And eventually I just had so many jackets on of insecurity that it was ridiculous. I had no confidence. Like the only thing I had confidence in, I'd say, was my personality. I knew I was a nice person, I knew I was fun, and I'd run with that. But physically I was so insecure that people would be like, look into my eyes when I'm talking to you, that's so rude, Cassandra. And they wouldn't understand. The reason why I couldn't look them in dead in the eye was because I didn't love myself. And to look you in the eye would you to look deep into what I look like. And then when I kind of felt like you was looking around my face, I'd crumble inside, and that it was horrible. And I remember like I think I met one of my friends, and she was just like, you know, like very, to me, very beautiful, and she's to everyone very beautiful. And I remember she was like, Cassandra, like she'd encourage me, she'd tell me I'm so beautiful. And I can't lie to you, like she really helped me at a stage, because she wasn't that friend that was insecure herself, so would kind of get at you. She really kind of helped me like realize my beauty. Sorry, my cat is now acting crazy. Like my cat's acting crazy. Joey, get down. Playing with the cats outside. But yeah, she'd really like be like, Cassandra, but look at this, look at that about you. And I started to feel confident, and she'd be like, put on a confident jacket, and she'd be like, you know, when we go out, I'm this person, you're Naomi. Like she just made me, you're Naomi Campbell, look at your leg. And I'd be like, woo, I'm Naomi. But still inside I had that insecurity, but I put on that confident jacket over my insecurity. And I'd feel like, you know, people would be like, oh, a lot of the times I'd get, you've got a nice body, Cassandra. So I started to think that I got a nice body, but I don't have a nice face. So I'd do anything to show my body. So I'd wear a hat, but I'd be wearing like my breast out, my butt, like everything I could have out. I didn't really feel like I had a bum at the time, so I'd just do everything that, you know, to show like I don't know, like show people like, okay, I might not have that going for me, but I have this going for me. I'd always want to have the best clothes, be the best dressed, because I'm like, well, I could be ugly, but I'm the best dressed. And yeah, look at this, insecurity was really severe, to be honest, guys. But it's like I got to a point where I remember I came to church, when I started coming to church, and that's when I kind of met Karl, and I literally sit in the room with him in the dark, and because I didn't want him to see my face, and he told me I'm beautiful, but I wouldn't believe him. And then it's like I started, like, my pastor would say certain things like, you know, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, you're made in the image of God, and I'd be like I'm sure some of you have done that. Literally, it's God forgive me, but I'd literally be like, oh, whatever, like, yeah, it's just like your mum or dad saying to you that you're beautiful. Of course they're gonna say it, like, yeah, I'm made in the image of God or whatever, like. So I didn't hear it, and I still had on those insecurity jackets. And then I remember that I'd always be like, imagine I'd see a girl and I'd be like, she's so beautiful, but she might be similar looking to me, but I couldn't see the beauty in myself, but I could see the beauty in others. And I remember it got so extreme that I went to Miami. This was when I was still going to church, but my early days, yeah. And I remember looking in the mirror at myself, my cat's acting crazy, looking in the mirror at myself and being like literally heaving, like literally about to be sick, because I had got darker and I hated the way I looked. And I remember feeling like I literally went on the internet to search how to change my eye colour, how to change my skin colour, how to get like all different types of surgery. I worked out the prices, and I literally stayed up all night. And obviously, mind you, this was even making people around me insecure, because they're like, Sandra's beautiful, like what's she talking about? Like, maybe, you know, when you do stuff like, as friends we can be insensitive, like, oh, God, I hate my breast, or I hate this about myself, but yet your other friend doesn't have it. Like, do you understand? It's like everyone always wants what, it's so strange sometimes, like, have you noticed that everyone always wants what the other has? So it'd be like, oh, I don't have my breast, but she hasn't got breast, but I want that breast, or she hasn't got that, but I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and I want that. And I was just like, I was getting tired of it. When I came back, I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of struggle. I'm tired of feeling unconfident. I mean, I'd see a picture of myself, and I'm like, Cassie, you actually look beautiful. Like, you actually do. And it just got ridiculous. So I started to really pray on it, and I started to affirm things. Like, I know not everyone that's watching is a believer. I know some of you are young. Like, I met a 13-year-old girl who watched my videos, so all of my young followers, all of my older followers, like, thank you so much. Honestly, I love you guys. But I remember I looked into the mirror, and I was just like, I just began to say, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are made in the image of God. You are beautiful. And instead of looking at what I didn't like, I started to embrace what I did like. Does that make sense? I'd be like, okay, maybe these are the things that I don't really love, but I do love this. And I'd be like, that is beautiful, that is amazing, that is great. And I started to feel great, and I started to feel better. And it wasn't overnight, it took time, but I carried on doing it, and I kept going. And the more confident I got inside, it's like the more my posture changed, the more I'd carry myself in a different way, the more like honestly, it became life-changing. And the more I did that, people will gravitas, I hope that's the word, towards me, and they'd be like, they'd also see it. So it's like, I didn't have to have less clothes on. I just literally had to believe in myself and work. And I always say, most people out there, you're trying to be Shaquina or Betsy, or you're not trying to be Cassandra. And I realized, I was like, let me be the best Cassandra, because there's nobody in the world that can be the best me. And obviously relationships took its toll, and I've been suicidal and before, and all of that kind of stuff, like, took its toll. But when I realized who I was like, I know my worth now. So no one can come in and give me any less than I'm worth, because I am wonderfully and fearfully made. And if you don't see that, that's you. And I remember, even still now to this day, it's been a season where people are like, all the songs are like, light skin girls, brown skin girls, light skin, white skin, all. And it's like, being a dark skinned girl and knowing you're dark skinned, it was like, where do I fit in that social media box? Like, and then I was like, and then everyone being like, oh, you know, you're pretty for a black girl. Oh, you're not exactly, but your skin's a bit like this colored. And then you'd be like, you know, it made me happy. And I'm like, the heck is that? Like, I remember literally all of that. But I had to start to realize that that's your own insecurity, and I'm not gonna allow your insecurity to become my insecurity. And I take off a jacket, what, because you don't like small eyes? And I take off another jacket and I'll be like, what, because you don't like me being tall? And I'll take off another jacket and I'll be like, in my head, I'll start saying things like, tall is beautiful, short is every, I started to really embrace who I was. And yeah, like, obviously recently, like I said, it's been creeping back in, but it happens. And I didn't want to come on here and be fake and act like it doesn't, because it literally does happen. You might feel beautiful one day and the other day you might not feel that great, but it doesn't take away from who I am. I still love myself, and I still have to continue to love myself. And at the end of the day, there's something like my weight that can be controlled, right? Like, I can go and lose weight. I can go, if I want to, if that's what I want to do, I can go and do that. And that's what I personally want to do. And that's what I feel like will help me feel better. But you have to feel better on the inside first. And I realized that you have to love yourself on the inside first. You have to realize that, you know, you're not what anyone says about you. Like, you're what God says about you. And that is my truth. And I even, like, apart from affirmations, I read this amazing book, The Confident Woman. Come on. It's not. Is it doing it? The Confident Woman by Joyce Meyer. It's amazing. It's an amazing book. And I watched YouTube videos to encourage myself, and, you know, just stuff like that. And just wasn't around don't be around negativity if it's a negative person in your life. And I'll leave you with this story. I went to an event the other day. I probably put her name down below, and there was a lady there and she was talking about something, and she was like, in your house, if you have a kitchen and your kitchen's full of food, all the things you like, full of fruit, full of veg, full of burgers, whatever you like to eat, like the best drinks, everything, your favorite meal, yeah? And someone comes knocks on your door. So my favorite meal was pasta. So someone knocks on your door and is like, hey Cass, here's a bowl of pasta, beautifully made and everything, like nice boil of pasta, but it's like lacking salt, yeah? And we all know you need to put salt in your pasta, so it's lacking salt. I'll be like, well, in my kitchen, I've got like a bowl of pasta and it's not lacking salt, and I think it's a bit better than yours, so I think I'm gonna keep my one. And then, you know, they'll be like, oh, okay, and I'll just shut my door, go back into my happy kitchen. But imagine in my kitchen I had nothing and literally no food, and someone bought me that pasta. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna be like, I need their bowl of pasta, because without their bowl of pasta, I'm nothing. Like, I need their bowl of pasta, because I don't have any bowls of pasta in my house. I don't have anything, and I'd be possessive over that pasta, and I'd need that pasta. And that's what I kind of feel with self-confidence. If you're self-confident, those people that try to, like, you know, bring you down, and I'm not talking about being like pompous or thinking you're the best, nothing to do with that, just being sure in yourself. If you're sure in yourself, then when people try to tell you you're less than what you are, you'll be like, well, no, I'm not, thanks, and I don't particularly need you in my life. If that's your opinion of me, thanks and goodbye. That is literally how I started to be. I started to be like, I don't settle for less, because I used to settle for less in relationships and friendships and everything, because I'd be like, I didn't really know who I was. So I'd always tell people, find out, get that self-confidence first before you enter in a relationship or anything like that. So enjoy where you are right now. Love yourself right now. Love who you are right now. Love your eyes right now. Love your nose right now. Love your lips right now. And just love you, because no one else can be you. There's no one that can be better than you, because you are you. So be the best you. Don't try to be anyone else. Don't try to do what anyone else does. Literally, be you. And that's my advice to everyone else. And that's my advice to myself. I've even left this video feeling more confident. Child, I'm gonna be me. And yeah, like, literally, be on this journey with me. And another thing I'd leave you on is, look, don't let social media dictate who you are. Okay? Don't let it dictate who you are. There's Facetune. There's all different apps that can smoothen out your skin, make you look skinnier. So don't let social media define your beauty, because it's always changing. One day it will be this is the best, that is the best. The next day it will be this is the best, that is the best. So literally, do not let social media define you. And guys, if you like this video and you like this kind of thing that I'm doing, please like, comment, subscribe. Write down below what more you want to see. I think I'm going to call this series kind of Growing Pains. I love you guys. Stay locked in, subscribe, and if you want to make sure that you know when our videos are coming out, please press the bell so you get the notifications. Over and out from me, because I've got to go to church. It's morning. Love you guys.